Welcome back, lovers of Italy and Sicily. Now, if you happen to be lucky enough to be of Italian or Sicilian descent, there's a decent chance that your family may have sacrificed quite a bit for you to end up where you are. The largest concentrations of Italian Americans are in the Northeast or the Midwest. But how did they get there? I'm also frequently asked, how do I trace my roots back to Italy and Sicily? Where did my family come from? Well, today I'm going to start with the explanation. I'm going to try and talk through the history of why people left Italy, how they left Italy, where they travelled to, and how life was for them when they arrived. And I'm hoping the combination of explaining how people left and travelled, how they survived, plus a number of shorts and details, I'm going to try and explain to you how you may be able to follow in the footsteps of your ancestors and trace them back to Italy and Sicily. The large-scale immigration of Italians was during three particular periods in Italian history, and this spread the Italian population over a wide geographical area, the Italian diaspora. Now, before the unification of Italy, emigration was largely uncontrolled by the state. Emigrants employed agents who arranged their transport. So when did we start? Well, let's start with the American Civil War. You may be surprised that a few thousand Italians fought in the American Civil War between 1861 and 1865, and they fought on both sides. The slaughter of the American Civil War had a lot of consequences, one of which was to reduce the number of working-age male population in America. An invitation went out for immigrant labour to come to the United States, and this arrived at a time where the living conditions in southern Italy and Sicily were truly awful. So the first significant wave took place between 1861 and 1920. And this happened after the unification of Italy, and as the Kingdom of Italy tried to transform itself from a rural society, particularly in the south, to a modern industrial economy. The new government of the Kingdom of Italy struggled to manage the country in the south. The different regions had developed in radically different ways and had very different cultures and histories. Earlier promises of land reform which would benefit poor agricultural families came to nothing. This created a number of issues, one of which was the long-term southern question, and this continues to suffer economically and socially to this very day. However, the unification of Italy also created a population boom which the country could not feed. Infrastructure and transport in the south was very limited. Agricultural output suffered due to soil erosion, deforestation, and family-based businesses were being wiped out by modern industrialised companies based in northern Italy and abroad. Large estates of land were poorly managed by largely absent landlords, leaving the peasants to scrape together a living. There was widespread unemployment and criminality was rife. The area suffered a number of natural disasters. Severe earthquakes took place in Basilicata in 1857, Ischia in 1883, Calabria 1894, the Straits of Messina 1908, and another in Sicily in 1914. The fall in the status of Naples was particularly brutal. Overnight it went from being a capital of its own kingdom in 1860 to just another large city. Swathes of middle-class bureaucratic jobs were instantly wiped out. Cholera epidemics also struck the city. So in the end, poverty, lack of work, disease, natural disasters, hunger induced the agricultural workers to begin to vote with their feet. Between 1860 and World War I, an estimated 9 million Italians left the Kingdom of Italy permanently, mostly heading for northern or southern America. The primary ports of embarkation were Palermo, Naples and Genoa. Between 1880 and 1914, 4 million Italians reached the United States. Italian peasants from the south were half of all Italian migrants before 1896. They were typically young men of working age, often illiterate, sometimes a father and a son. They were going to seek food and work, sending money home to their families with every intention to return to Italy. But life wasn't going to be that simple for them. And despite being invited by America, these travellers were not always welcome when they arrived. In 1880, the New York Times described them as undesirable emigrants, the promiscuous immigration of the filthy, wretched, lazy, criminal dregs of the meanest sections of Italy. The Italian government tried to roll its one-size-fits-all Piedmont legal system across the Kingdom of Italy. This didn't work in the slightest. Criminality increased, and this new country teetered in chaos. Insurrections began to break out in Basilicata and Apulia, led by brigands such as Carmine Crocco, who was alternatively considered a folk hero or a bandit, depending on your point of view and depending on who he was fighting for at the time. As the southern riots petered out, the people from southern Italy headed for the United States, South America and northern Italy. By the 1860s, the advent of steam ships had reduced the length of Atlantic crossings to 10 days or less. This was really important, as people would previously die on transatlantic crossings, and Italian immigrants were typically travelling in third class. The conditions were still grim. 7% of the people moved to somewhere in Europe. 15% of the population moved to Argentina and Brazil, and fully 73% of the people that moved went to the USA. Back in Italy, families began to divide. One child was sent abroad while the others stayed. Many wives were left in Sicily while the man went abroad to work. And in lots of ways, the fabric of society began to fracture. Between 1911 and 1914, over 300,000 people left rural Sicily, but very few actually left the urban areas of Palermo, Messina and Catania. However, smaller settlements suffered enormous losses. Typically could be up to 10% of the working age male population, and this had enormous consequences on demographics. Join me for part 2. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. That way you can enjoy more of this content. Thank you. Click here for some more videos you may be interested in.